Hey guys, we're heading to a job. They want to install a cat door, or if you want to call it a doggy door, or cat door. They're all the same to me. Cut a hole and put them in. And they want to move a switch for some sort of laundry cabinets or garage cabinets. I don't know. Anyway, they want a switch moved because they're going to put something there. And the doggy door, I guess, or the cat door. So I believe they're stuck on the outside, so hopefully we'll get some video of both those items. Today Vinny will be working by himself unless he needs a hand, and Alicia will give him a hand. Otherwise Alicia will be installing the doggy door with me. So anyway, when we get there, it's Monday morning. I'm running a little bit late. It's 15 after 8. I told him I'd be there at 8:30. It doesn't look like I'm gonna. Well, no, it looks like I will be there before 8:30. Looking at my navigation. Anyway, we'll see you there, guys. See you on the job.
A little bit.
Hey guys, we're gonna install this cat door, and it has drywall,
She's okay. We stopped the.
and then it has stucco, and then drywall because they turned it into a room. So they covered up the stucco. So we're going to be going through drywall, stucco, and then drywall. The first thing we're going to do is on the other side, make sure that there's nothing in the way. We're going to take a look for studs. We're going to take a look for electrical. We're just going to make sure that when we do cut this open, we don't have to patch it. So, and then he says he's not against moving it to the left or to the right. If he did, let's just say he was against moving it to the left or right, then we would cut it up higher and put a 2x4 header to carry the support of the 2x4 for the rafter tails. But he's not, so we'll just find a nice little place to put it. Okay guys, we're in the garage and he wants to move this outlet over here. They got some new cabinets coming that are going to be lower, I guess, and a workbench or something. Anyway, he wants that there, but they're not sure what that operates to begin with. So it is hot. There's something going to it. We just don't know where it's going yet. So we'll see. And then Vinny's over here. We thought maybe it'd be going to this light fixture up here. So Vinny's going to get into it and see what's going on. Okay guys, we're going to see what's in this wall. I have that other one that you see on Facebook. Shows electrical, everything. I just prefer this. Oh, this is good news.
I'm loving it already too.
Okay, let's just make sure. Same as that.
Mm-hmm. Right there.
Yeah, so we're good. We're good for
Gonna
the
go
center.
between those two.
Yeah. Okay, Lisa, if you could get a tape measure between, I'm gonna check on Vinny. Get a tape measure and start here and here and find the center for me between, I'm not worried about these two lines. They're just reference marks, but
Right.
get me the middle. That way we can go with that. And then we'll, once you got the middle, we'll place the template. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right, thank you. Okay, guys, what they've got here is this switch here lights up all the lights and the light over there. And then the other switch is operates those outlets. He never uses them all at once. This switch operates the other box, but it's not functioning. There's a short somewhere between there and here. Vinny's going to try to figure out where the short is, because the gentleman is opting out to just leave that, remove the plug, cap everything off, cover it up. There are nothing but 2 wires in there. There's only 2 wires, so it's not like it's feeding this and feeding something else. It's just feeding this. So he's opting to run a jumper from this box to this box. That way everything works off of one switch. He just uses it to clean up his bike and things like that. Nothing big. So I'm going to let Vinny figure that out. Okay, she found her center, which is right here. She put this upside down where this was sitting on the baseboard, and then she put her line on top of that metal. Now she's going to take a 1/4 inch higher right there and set her template in the center a 1/4 inch higher. That'll reinsure that we're not hitting the baseboard. We want at least a 1/4 inch between that metal and this baseboard. So basically, she's gonna, she already found her center. She brought it up. This is the line. If you were to put this on here, that's where it hits on top. She's gonna raise a 1/4 inch, put her template, and we're gonna take a look inside. Okay guys, we're able to abandon this. Basically just cap the wires off and let them put their thing over, because there's only one hit coming in. And it's coming in here, and then it's going up there. Their neutral's going up there. Their hot wire's going up there, but for some reason, wherever they're getting this from is shorted out somewhere. But we're gonna look into that later. But now what we're gonna do is he's gonna go ahead and disconnect those wires and cut the armor cable coming here and use it to go into the, as a jumper over here. He's going to pull everything out, snip the insulated wires down to the insulation, wire nut them and tape them and push them in. There's always access on the other side, but there's no reason for it, because this is not feeding anything but over here. It's not like there's two whites together going to go somewhere else, or two hots jumping to another outlet. Nothing like that. It's just two hots coming in, I mean a hot coming in with a neutral, and it's going straight overhead. And that's that. So we're going to abandon it, let him shelve over it, and then he's going to put a jumper from right over there using the same armored cable like that, and we're good to go. By the way, by jumping over here, everything will be on that one switch. So anyway, hey guys, she's leveling it all off. She brought her other line a 1/4 inch above. So now she's going to make a little guideline for her template, and go from there. Right on that dot. I'll cut her some tape and we'll see what she gets. Well, she's got her tape cut already. Full. So once she gets that all done, we'll mark it, and we'll go from there. Basically, we're just going to drill holes. We're not going to mark it. We're just going to drill holes, little holes, and then crisscross the holes with a level. That way it's nice and straight. Sometimes I cross sometimes I take a pencil and cross here and cross there. But we'll see. The owner wanted to know why, when the one breaker went off, he wanted to know why when the GFCI went off in his bathroom or bedroom or something, all 7 outlets went out. And that's usually an easy one. Probably what happens is he's got an open ground somewhere on that circuit, on those 7 outlets somewhere. And the cheapest way to actually probably fix it is to find your first outlet on the circuit and then put a GFCI. Now, some people will just do that and call it finished. I won't. I will find a way to ground that GFCI. I know everybody says, they're going to say in the comments, you don't have to ground a GFCI. Well, I want the full protection of the GFCI, and I'm going to find a way to ground that GFCI, especially if I'm relying on it to cover the other 6 outlets. So bottom line is, what I do is I find a way, either down the wall or outside with a new ground rod. I don't care. A pipe, I'll get a ground wire to that first outlet, then I'll put a GFCI, and then it protects the rest. And that's the case, because he showed me all the outlets, and every one of them has an open ground. But then when I get to the GFCI where they installed it, the first one on the circuit breaker, it's grounded. They actually did what I would do. Some people would just slap a GFCI in there and call it done. Then other people want to run a ground to it. They found a way to run a ground. Since it's a single story, I think they went in the attic. They opened up one little hole past the fire block, or before it, or under. I don't know what they did. I could see a little patchwork. They got that one GFCI properly grounded. And from there, they fed off to the other ones, protecting it. Now, when you put you still have open grounds on multiple outlets because there's a broken ground somewhere. So it's not like you're going, if you grounded the GFCI, it doesn't mean you'll come over here and test this one and it'll be grounded, because somewhere in the daisy chain there's a broken ground, and even at the first outlet. So anyway, the electrician grounded the GFCI and then it feeds the others. So basically what I'm going to do is just write it down on a piece of cardboard so he understands what he's got. He really wants to understand it, so I'm just going to get a piece of cardboard. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get back to this, guys. Hey guys, she prefers, instead of just drilling a hole in the corner, she prefers to mark her corners. You get more precise, because if you run that drill bit in a little crooked or something, you're going to be a little off maybe. So she prefers to take the time just to mark the 4 corners and up inside, and then she'll take her level and mark off a perfect hole, and then we'll knock a little hole or cut a little hole in the middle to make sure everything is clear, because it's easier to patch a small hole than to, you know, put that piece back in. So that's what we're going to do. She's going to do that. She's going to take her level and she's going to mark it and then take that off, crossing her line. So what I will do now is she's going to minus about a 1/4 inch, I guess, off the top to make that hole a little bit tighter lengthwise. And then once she does that, I'll check it and then maybe have her take a little bit off each side so it's tighter that way as well. And guys, it's not like I need instructions to install this. I've installed big ones, small ones, places where I never thought I would be putting one. But I do like to go over the instructions a little bit just to see if there's something new or anything like that that has come about. But all in all, it's the same. Okay, guys. Basically, he's killing those lines and he's putting his new whip. Where's the other side of the whip? He's got his connectors. He's gonna jump the side that works, which is this side works. So he's gonna jump a whip over there, and that'll give that power on that same outlet. Like he said, he's not doing anything in here that, you know, other than polishing his cars and, you know, things like that. I think the reason why he has so many outlets is not because he needs to drain everything at one time. It's that way he can plug in more than one tool and not have to unplug and plug, but he's not using them all at the same time, and they're not even tools. There's waxing machines, or I don't know. He's got I don't know. But anyway, you can see he's got a nice bike and he's got a Porsche over there, so he's doing good. So basically, there's Alicia coming for trouble. What do you need now? All right. Well, no. I want you to cut an inspection hole first. Okay. So let's do that first. Okay, guys. What she's going to do is we've tightened up the hole a little bit to where we want it, and she's going to take a little hole saw and cut a little hole, real tiny, just enough where she can stick her. Where's your uniform equipment?
What do you mean?
You're missing something, Alicia.
Oh, I put in a charger, but I picked up this morning.
Oh, well, look what I brought. There's
thank
your
you.
missing equipment.
Yeah, I had a charger last night.
Anyway, I saw it hanging and I grabbed it. Now what she'll do is she'll cut a little hole there, and then she'll inspect in there, make sure everything's good, and if everything's good, she's gonna take out the whole hole, the whole piece. Okay, guys, she's got everything tarped off. Just remember, Alicia, there could be a Romex floating in there, so don't go deep until you knock a little hole in. Okay. You're going to hurt your wrist, Alex. Go get a hammer.
I got it right here.
Okay. But just, you know, cut very shallow.
Wiggle.
Yeah, but keep it shallow. Okay. That way, if there is something in there, you'll feel it. Romex, you'll feel a Romex in there before you cut it if you're using a hand tool. That's why, you know, I've got everything we need to cut that thing in 30 seconds. My multi, you name it, we got it. It's just this way you can feel it.
Surgery.
You can feel it. You'll feel, if you hit a cable, that cable will catch up on there, and you'll pull it to the wall and you'll hear it slapping. So right now she's just going to do a little one. Okay, guys, she's got a little hole there. And she's going to search around in there and see if there's anything.
We're clear.
All the way around?
All the way around.
Okay, go ahead and cut that baby out of there. Well, I was gonna get Alicia a multi-tool to cut it,
Look around and beautiful clean.
but everything is so clean she don't want to use it. So it keeps the dust down if she just uses her handsaw. It'll keep the dust down, which it does. So we'll let her do it this way. Okay, guys, he's getting everything wrapped up there, jumping it over. And then I can always get to this side if we ever had an electrical issue where he needed this or something. We can get to it. The living room's on the other side, right behind the couch. So we're good to go there. I think that's where they picked up the power. Was there's an outlet on the other side, and they just brought it up here, I think. You can tell. I mean, look how much smaller the box is. That's been installed after the fact. I think your first outlet was right. I mean, your first switch was right here for the garage light on the side where the laundry is. And then, of course, they added all the other stuff. So I imagine at one time it just had one switch that probably had a light there and a light over here. If you look at the year of the house, they had two lights. One there and then one over there, so when you come and hit that switch, your garage would light up near the laundry and over there as well. The reason why I like having the bottom of this plate at least a 1/4 inch or more off the baseboard is when you use some of the hardware that they give you. For instance, they gave you butterflies here. I'm not going to use them. What happens is you squeeze in and you end up with like a little gap. It breaks the drywall away from the bead of caulking. Anyway, I just like to have it a little bit up higher. Now you can see we got stucco to go through and then drywall again, because this outside was stucco, then the drywall. So look at that, perfect. Okay, guys. So now what we need to do is that's our hole size.
And you can have straight.
Yeah, we'll mark the holes, level it up. I'll shim it from the other side and then mark the holes. You know what I mean? Okay, get that out of there. So guys, what we're going to do is we're going to take a drill bit and we're going to drill holes all the way through, but we're going to use a masonry. And we're going to try to keep our drill as straight as possible. If anything, I can favor outward, but not inward, because then I'll have to cut the hole 2 or 3 times. So when we run our drill in here, we want it to be straight or a little bit down. That way it gives me a little larger hole on the outside, and I don't have to cut it 2 or 3 times. But there's your stucco right there. And then, of course, on top of the stucco, we got drywall. So this is drywall. All right, we're gonna get a drill and mark those 4 holes. Okay, guys, he's gonna drill that out for us. My knees are killing me, and Alicia wants to stay pretty. She doesn't want the dust. Anyway, Vinny's gonna drill out. Oh, Vinny, let me show you what you're going through. On the other side, you're going through stucco and then 1/2 inch drywall, just so you know. I prefer that we don't push hard and let the drill do the work, so we don't blow out the other end. Good, you're through. Good job, you didn't blow it all out. Okay guys, I'm gonna let him finish that. Okay guys, there's our 4 holes. Alicia, I wish you would take your measurements off the top of the hole like that, and on the sides, the outer. That way our hole's slightly bigger and we don't have to get in there and cut the stucco twice.
Okay.
It's easy when it's just drywall, but when you got stucco, allow for a little movement. That way you don't have to get in there twice with that stucco. Okay guys, she's gonna just trace her lines out, and then we'll get a utility knife and cut the drywall part out, so all we have is the stucco. That way I can make sure that I only cut the stucco once. If I can't see it, I'm not gonna be sure about if it's gonna fit the first time. So she gets the drywall out, and then I can bring the piece on this side, the part that goes through it, and I can see if we're a little low, a little, too big, whatever it is, and I can make my adjustments for the stucco. It's an extra step, but I don't want to just put my Sawzall in there with a stucco blade and then make my cut and find out I'm 1/8 of an inch too small. You know what I mean? I'd rather her take the drywall out, and then if everything looks good, when I press it against it, then we're going to be good to go. It's one extra step, but that's what I prefer to do. As you can see, she's cutting it with her keyhole saw, but she's hitting the stucco on the other end. But it's okay. She kind of traced it out with her utility knife first, and she's going to work down until we get to the piece out, and then once we get that piece out, we can take the doggy door, put it in there, and make sure it's big enough. And then if it is, then we'll go after the stucco. Hey guys, he's wrapping it up. He's going to turn that box around the other way, and it showed open ground because the box wasn't attached, or the lid wasn't attached to the box. But once that gets attached, it's all grounded, because the ground wire is going to the box. And the armor cable's grounded in that thing over there or something. Anyway, we'll put the tester on it and make sure everything is good. When we first started working here on one of the outlets, we found a bootleg ground. I guess when you bought it, it was bootlegged in so it passed inspection. But I don't like bootleg grounds at all. Nobody does. Simply because, think about it. If you short out and you got that green wire going, or you got that green wire on the ground, the green nut, green screw, and then you got it going to the neutral, the white side, anything shorts out, you're going to be sending all that power from the short out down through the neutral and back into your box. And now all of a sudden, you got all that going through all those neutrals. It's just, not a good thing. Okay, he's got it all closed up and everything's looking good. Test the other one, please. Go down the row. Do the ones next to it, even. The one to the right. And do the one directly to the left.
All right.
The other box. The one we didn't check.
This one?
Yeah. Okay, we're all good. Now he's going to cap these wires over here. And see, now the outlets are on this switch here, which is on a 20 amp. And then these lights, I'm sorry, this is for the outlets over there. And this is for the lights over here. So lights, outlets. It's on a 20 amp breaker. It's there's not much. We couldn't find any other outlets on it. I tested all the ones inside. And when I turn the breaker off, just be safe, we turned the breaker off even though we had the switch off, and I couldn't find any other outlets on that. And you could tell that they ripped out a space for a new breaker because it was all bent up. So all right, anyway. Okay guys, Alicia's talking to my cheerleading daughter that's got aches and pains. She's just trying to get out of school today. Not gonna happen. Okay, Vinny's going to take his drill and drill some holes here, and then drill some holes here. And then they say you can use a carbide blade for cast iron to cut stucco. I'm going to find out if that's true or not. So we'll find out. Let me see the blade. Yeah, they say you can use the cast iron blade for cutting. So they say at Home Depot. We're going to find out. I used to buy blades back in the day, and it had that diamond tip on it with no teeth. It was just like for... like diamond, anyway, you guys know, it looks like sandpaper. It was for stucco. In fact, I have a few on the truck. But the guy said this will work, so we're going to find out. Okay, guys, he's going to put 3 holes over there, one on top of each other, and stack them so he can get his blade in there. We can chip it out. You can go under it a little bit, and we can chip it out with a chisel. Yeah, I think you can get your saws on that almost. Okay, now you can try your saws off. But if you want, why don't you go ahead and do the other 3 holes, because that's good to go that way and that way, but you'll need another, like right in the middle. Put 3 holes right in the middle. That way you can go left and right and do the other side as well.
Okay.
And then I can put that away. Okay guys, it appears that it's cutting stucco pretty good. It's doing good. I'm surprised. Keep it off the drywall.
Yeah.
And start the blade before you.
Just getting hit by the wire on the black paper, I think.
That's all right.
What?
Just put it in there. Yeah, you can go on the other side and cut it, but you got it bundled. Okay guys, one thing you want to do is don't stick it in the hole and then pull the trigger. You want to get that blade working first at a higher speed, not low, because if you do, it's going to catch the stucco and pull your blade in and out, and your whole saw's all in and out, and then you hit the drywall and move it. So what you want to do is you want to get that blade up to speed and then do to the left, get it up to speed before you push it on the stucco. Faster. Fast.
Oh, I thought you said stop.
See, when you get that blade going, if you have that sitting on the stucco and then you pull the trigger, your whole sawzall will move. And guys, the reason why I'm having him cut away from the drywall, the reason why we're not putting the feet on the drywall, because you could vibrate it and crack the tape. We don't want to do that. So he's trying to keep it off the wall. Okay guys, you got it out. There it is. Alicia's plastic caught it and whatever else she had on there. So we've got our hole there. Now we'll clean up a little bit. All right, there it is. She had her cardboard box under there. Oh, there's a wire. Cool. Thank you, son. Okay, we'll throw this over here. I'll pick it up later. So there we go. All right, we're gonna move forward, and we'll see what we're gonna get here, or what we're gonna do. Well, the blade works for stucco. It's a cast iron blade with carbide teeth, and it works great for stucco. Hey guys, we got this end in. It's just sitting there. And this end, we want to make sure that we can level it and that we don't have to open up the hole any more than what it needs to be. So what he's going to do is just take some Klein screws and put this level and run the screws into the drywall with no plugs, just to get the holes marked #1 and to hold it level, so they can come over here now and make sure they can level this, because sometimes if it's tight on one side or the other, when you go to level this one, it might twist the other one. So by putting 4 Klein screws in right here, without the plugs, we'll be able to level it and mark the holes, and then go around the other side, put the 4 screws in, level it, put the screws in, and then once that's done, we then back out the screws, and then we go ahead and put caulking around the edges and make it airtight, or the best we can, waterproof, even though there's no water. Anyway, I'm putting fucking caulking around it. And then I'll have Alicia caulk around the outside as well. It all adds strength. Okay guys, he's got everything leveled. He's got the screws in the hole without any plugs. Same over here. He's got it level without any plugs to make sure everything was going to line up and stay level. Because sometimes if the hole's tight, it'll torque over. When you try to level one side, then the other side will move, but everything's good. So now he'll take the screws out. He'll put his anchors in the wall, and then we'll put some caulking around the inside of this, on the inside, not where it pushes out, but just a little caulking to seal it. Then I'll have Alicia caulk the outside here and leave the bottom open, and that's it. And we're done here. So we'll let them get to work, and then we'll go from there, guys. So Okay, guys, he's got his anchors in the wall. He's got his caulking around here. I would prefer if you would close up the holes right here all the way. You didn't have to do the bottom, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted the two sides and leave the bottom open. But in this case, you could just leave it. But just
This is an inside. Does it
close
need
up
to
the
be closed?
just close from here to here, and close the corner there. And then I always leave the bottom open. But this is inside,
Yeah.
so leave the bottom.
Okay.
But on the exterior one, just
Okay.
do the three sides and always leave the bottom. But
Okay.
there's not going to be no water coming in here, so you just leave it. But just make your lines complete. All right, thank you. Then on the outside, he'll go ahead and, even though it's indoors, I'm still going to have them leave the bottom open. It's just whatever. That's what we're going to do. Okay, guys. Backing up his drywall when he hits it. Looking real good. We'll put some caulking around that out one, but leave the bottom part, Vinny,
Uncocked.
uncaulked, yeah. Okay, guys, all she's got left is to caulk around there. And same out here. And Vinny's got to go put a plate on that. That's good. Looks good. Okay, caulk all three spots, three sides, top and two, and we're good.
Sounds good.
Vinny, you can get all your stuff put away and get your plate on and listen for the street sweeper, and I'll take this stuff to the trash can. Holler if you hear it. Okay, guys, she's got it caulked all the way around. Nice and neat, let's see. Yeah, nice and neat and clean. Everything looks good. Just wipe off all the metal. And I'm only saying that, not that she don't know any better. Of course she knows. I just say it because I'm, I guess, narrating too much. Anyway, that's that. All cleaned up. Everything's cleaned. Picked up everything, threw it away. Vacuumed up over here. So that's about it. And then they give you this one door right here. I guess it goes in. I don't know how this thing works. Here, I'll figure it out and I'll let you know. Okay, guys, this thing just holds it up here. That way, if you want to leave it in the channel, you can. It sits kind of kittywampus, but anyway, that is what it is. Now, let's try to pull this, and I'm doing it with one hand here. Let's see. Hold on, guys. Now, I got it where it slides down like that, and it locks right there. So, that's the way it goes, guys. In order to put it up, you gotta do that. So everything looks good. And everything is done on this side. Hey guys, I think that's gonna be it. We're gonna get out of here and be done. Say bye, Alicia.
Bye.
And then of course, I gotta give Vinny his caulking gun and get my vacuum out of here. And Vinny's gonna put a plate on that. Got everything wire nutted. Cut the ends off of the, that way it's all insulation and no copper. Then put wire nuts that fit it, and then taped everything up good. And I think that's about it. So the guy from the cabinetry said that it's gonna come down long shelves, and he can put a hole there and then the plate on top of the hole. He said when he's done. That way it'll be accessible. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it. Very nice car. Here's your caulking gun. You want to say goodbye, Vinny? See you later, guys. Hey, guys, we're done with that job. I went by Harbor Freight and got these two pieces for like $8 or $9. Basically, I'm just going to take a cut-off wheel and cut that off there, and then get it hot and take a sledgehammer and a hammer and beat it flat the best I can. And then I'll heat this one up, put a 90 on it, maybe from here to here a 90, and a 90 here. That way, when we get into some of these cleanouts where they have brickwork, and the clean out has an extension all the way out here, and sometimes you want to get in there and rake that shit out. I thought this would be a good tool to reach in as deep as you need to go and scrape all that crap out before snaking the drain. You know, I wish I had a little bit wider here, but this will do the job. You reach inside a drain with that, and I'm not going to bend it too high because I want to be able to move it around in there. So I thought maybe I'll put the 90 about right here, same as that one. So first we're going to cut that off with a cutoff wheel, and then we'll heat it up, flatten it out, and then put a 90 on it. We'll just use some heat on there to do it. Okay, Vinny, if you would, just take your grinder cutoff wheel and cut that Phillips off. I wonder if we should shorten these. I really don't want to shorten them. I want to leave them long, because sometimes, you know, you can really reach down in something and clean it off, you know. I want to be able, guys, just to get in that hole and scrape it all out. You know, sometimes the hole's this deep on some of those extensions, you know, so it's good to have that extra stuff. So Vinny's going to go ahead and cut that off. Okay, go ahead and cut that sucker off. Nice and straight if you can.
It's gonna be probably.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, now if you, yeah. Okay, that's good. Now what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to heat that up. And we'll put this,
Pretty straight.
yeah, that's true. No. And I can hold that, or Vinny can hold that, and then I'll beat the hell out of it. I'll get that hot, and then set it here and just beat that in flat, I guess, something like that. Okay, guys, we're just going to heat this guy up, and then I'll take this ball peen, Vinny I'll hold that there and just flatten that out the best I can. Let's see what happens. Hold that. I took my small tip off, guys. The one that I use for soldering 1/2-inch copper and 3/4, and put on this one. That way I have a little bit more heat going on. We'll see what happens here. My striker, I don't know where it is. Oops, sorry. Will you be able to hold that for me too, without burning my phone up after? With that hammer, backwards, just one more time.
So I can go outside and hold it.
Don't worry about it. This is going to be my last hit. Good. Okay, so now we'll take and bend that, like put on do you have like a crescent wrench for me?
I can get some vice grips.
Okay, vice grips will work.
All right.
I'm gonna put that down. Okay, guys, let's tighten that up. All right, that looks good. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to heat that up and give it a little bit of a 90. Let's see. Yeah.
Are you gonna need this later or no?
Yeah. I'll do the moving. Okay, can we have another one over there? Actually, oh, it's hot. Well, she's hot. That looks nice and straight right there. That'll do the job, guys. Just get in there and rake that shit out and get it on top. Okay, so now let's do the same thing with this one. Okay, guys.
Put through. You hold this. I got nozzle. Right on the money, guys. Cool. I'm gonna drain this if you guys don't mind. Get my valve off. Drain everything from here to here. So right there, that's off. So I always like to give it a little extra. Otherwise, when I go to use it, and I leave my gauges on, guys, because if this leaks, it's just going to leak out into the atmosphere from here. But if I leave my gauges on it and it leaks, what I do is I turn off my regulator. I go ahead and open my regulator, and then I turn it all the way off like this. And once it's off, see, I know it's off now because it's almost ready to fall on the floor, so I just give it a couple. But right now my regulator is off. So if I had a leak here, it'll start to show here. If I come outside one day and I get in my van and that needle is bumped up to here, that means I got a slow leak here. So if I was to take this off and leave the bottle without any gauges, and this valve is going bad, because sometimes you crank on it and it's still going to leak a little bit. But if it does, you'll know right here. That needle will be lifted off that brass peg. It'll be somewhere about right here, depending on how bad it's leaking. So if I come to the truck and I see that needle is up here, then I know for sure I've got a leak in the valve here. But the good news is the gas that is leaking, you don't have to worry about it because your regulator is going to keep it on. So basically I make sure my regulator is off and nothing can go past this regulator. And this, I don't like to leave these off, but I do. I open it up and I just give it a little, I don't want it pin tight like that, just in case I do have a leak. Let's just think that maybe let's just like pretend that I might have not turned this off all the way and it's leaking. At least it'll contain my gas, because this stuff is expensive now. So with that being said, we'll move on with this. So now basically I'll let Vinny pick which one he wants. Pick your poison. Oh, you say you want that one?
Thank you.
All right, guys. I might, I don't want it to rust, so I might just go ahead and throw a little black spray paint on there or whatever I got. I don't think it'll rust, but I'll just spray it. I'm not going to spray shit. All right, guys, that's about it. I'll try to edit this video and get it out. Talk to you guys next time. Hey guys, by the way, this is not a new tank. This is an exchange. Every time they go empty on me, I exchange it. You can't find any refill stations where you can buy a brand new tank and have it filled and keep it, 4 or 5 years. If you buy a brand new tank, the chances you find in a fill station are next to none. Because I think there's only 2 or 3 in California, and they won't take one bottle at a time or anything like that. And it takes 48 hours to fill one. So bottom line is, when I just exchange for a new bottle, I buy that $2.98 paint can from Home Depot, and I just throw a couple coats on it so it looks good in my truck. I've always been that way. I don't know why, and I don't do anything to it. I just wipe it down with some dish soap, tape off the brass, give it 2 coats, and it's in my van. Because this will last me so long. The other one lasted me like 3 or 4 years, because I don't do a lot of soldering, especially now that I have the Pro Press. But hey, it only takes me 15 minutes to spray it, a little bit of tape, 1 coat, 10 minutes later another coat, and it's on the truck.